Did you know that understanding how we think and see the world can actually unlock hidden powers in your own mind? Get ready to discover the secrets of structuralism, a revolutionary idea that will change how you view everything from language to society itself. This isn't just philosophy, it's a cheat code for understanding human culture and thought. Introduction. Hello everyone, are you ready to dive deep into a concept that shaped much of the 20th century's intellectual landscape? Today, we're going to explore structuralism, a fascinating and sometimes complex philosophical movement. Don't worry, we'll break it down into easy-to-understand pieces. Structuralism helps us understand the underlying patterns and systems that give meaning to things around us. Think of it like this: just as a building has a hidden frame that supports it, our world of meaning also has a hidden structure. Let's start our journey chronologically to see how this powerful idea developed. Body. The roots of structuralism. Ferdinand de Saussure and linguistics. Our story begins in the early 20th century with a Swiss linguist named Ferdinand de Saussure. His work, mainly published posthumously as Course in General, 1916, laid the groundwork for what would become structuralism. Saussure was primarily interested in language, and he revolutionized how we think about it. Signifier and signified. He introduced the idea that language is a system of signs. Each sign has two parts, the signifier and the signified. The signifier is the sound image or the written word itself, like the word tree. The signified is the concept or idea that the signifier refers to the actual tall green plant. Arbitrary nature of the sign. Saussure argued that the relationship between the signifier and the signified is arbitrary. There's no natural reason why the sound tree refers to a tree. It's simply a convention within a language system. This is a crucial point, because it means meaning is not inherent in things themselves, but is created by the system of language. Langue and parole. Another key distinction Saussure made was between langue and parole. Langue refers to the abstract system of language, the rules, grammar, and vocabulary that speakers share. Parole refers to the actual instances of language use, the individual speech acts. Structuralism is primarily interested in the langue, the underlying system. Synchronic versus diachronic study. Saussure also emphasized studying language synchronically, at a specific point in time rather than diachronically, how it changes over time. This focus on a static system was important for structuralist analysis, expanding beyond linguistics, Claude Lévi-Strauss, and anthropology. In the mid-20th century, structuralism expanded beyond linguistics, largely thanks to the French anthropologist Claude Lévi-Strauss. He applied Saussure's linguistic methods to the study of culture and society, mysteries of human culture. Lévi-Strauss believed that just as language has underlying structures, so do human societies and cultures. He looked for universal patterns in myths, kinship systems, rituals, and customs across different cultures. He argued that these patterns reveal the fundamental structures of the human mind. Binary oppositions. One of Lévi-Strauss's most famous contributions was the concept of binary oppositions. He observed that human thought often organizes the world into pairs of opposites, such as raw-cooked, nature culture, life-death, male-female. These oppositions form the basic structure of myths and cultural narratives, universal structures of the mind. By analyzing these binary oppositions and their combinations, Lévi-Strauss aimed to uncover the universal, unconscious structures of the human mind that shape cultural practices and beliefs. He saw culture as a kind of language, a system of signs that communicates meaning. Structuralism in other fields. Roland Barthes and literary theory. Structuralism's influence spread further into literary theory and criticism with figures like Roland Barthes. He applied structuralist ideas to the analysis of text, showing how meaning is produced through systems rather than authorial intent, unveiling hidden meanings. Barthes examined how narratives, fashion, food, and other cultural phenomena function as systems of signs. He analyzed the underlying codes and conventions that allowed these systems to convey meaning. For example, in his work, Mythologies, he deconstructed everyday cultural myths. The death of the author. Barthes famously declared the death of the author, arguing that the meaning of a text is not solely determined by the author's intention, but rather by the reader's interaction with the structural codes embedded within the text. This was a radical shift in literary criticism. Structuralism in philosophy. Louis Althusser and Marxism. Even political philosophy felt the impact of structuralism. Louis Althusser, a French Marxist philosopher, used structuralist concepts to reinterpret Marxist theory. He argued against humanism and emphasized the structural forces that shape individuals and societies, understanding society's structure. Althusser saw society as a complex structure with different levels: economic, political, ideological. He argued that these structures, rather than individual human agency, primarily determine historical development and social relations. He introduced concepts like ideological state apparatuses, ISAs, to explain how dominant ideologies are reproduced through institutions, like education and family. Critique of individualism. His structuralist approach challenged traditional notions of individual freedom and autonomy, suggesting that individuals are largely products of the social and economic structures in which they live. Conclusion. So, what have we learned about structuralism? It's a way of thinking that looks beneath the surface of things to find the hidden systems, rules, and relationships that give them meaning. From Saussure's linguistics to Levi-Strauss's anthropology, Barthes's literary theory, and Althusser's Marxism, structuralism provided a powerful analytical tool for understanding various aspects of human culture and thought. It taught us that meaning is not inherent, but constructed through systems of differences and relations. While structuralism faced challenges and evolved into other movements, like post-structuralism, its impact on the humanities and social sciences is undeniable. It fundamentally changed how we analyze language, myths, literature, and society. By understanding these underlying structures, we gain a deeper appreciation for the complex tapestry of human existence. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and you'll find that the world reveals its secrets in fascinating ways. Here are 50 important English vocabulary words from our discussion, with their Korean explanations. Structuralism, 구조주의의 의미를 부여하는 기저, 시스템과 패턴에 초점을 맞춘 철학적, 방법론적 접근. 페르디난 드 소슈르 페르디낭 드 소슈르 구조주의 언어학의 창시자, 링구이스틱스 언어학 언어를 과학적으로 연구하는 학문. posthumously 사후에 사람이 죽은 후에 발생하거나 출판되는 것. Course in General Linguistics, 일반 언어학 강의 소슈르의 주요 저작. System of Science, 기호 체계 언어와 같은 의미를 전달하는 요소들의 조직화된 구조. Signifier, 기표, 기호의 물리적 형태. 예를 들어 단어의 소리나 글자. Signified기, 기표가 지칭하는 개념이나 의미. Arbitrary, 자의적인, 임의적인 특정한 규칙이나 이유 없이 정해진. Convention, 관습, 관례사회 구성원들이 공유하는 행동이나 규칙. 랑괴랑그, 언어의 추상적인 시스템, 문법과 어휘. 8월에 8월 실제 사용되는 개별적인 언어 행위, 발화. 싱크로닉, 공시적인 특정 시점에서의 언어나 시스템 연구. 디아크로니크, 통시적인 시간의 흐름에 따른 언어나 시스템의 변화 연구. 클로드 레비스트로스 구조주의 인류학의 주요 인물. Anthropology, 인류학 인간과 문화, 사회를 연구하는 학문. Underlying patterns, 기저, 패턴 표면에 드러나지 않는 기본적인 양식이나 규칙. Kinship systems, 친족 체계 사회에서 친족 관계를 조직하는 방식. Rituals, 을의 특정한 목적을 가지고 반복적으로 행해지는 형식화된 행동. Customs, 관습, 특정 사회나 집단에서 오랜 기간 동안 지켜져 온 행동 방식. Binary oppositions, 이항 대립 두 개의 반대되는 개념이 서로 대비되어 의미를 형성하는 것. Rockhooked, 날것이 레비스트로스가 사용한 문화적 이항 대립의 예시. Nature culture, 자연문화 레비스트로스가 사용한 문화적 이항 대립의 예시. Universal structures, 보편적 구조, 모든 인간이나 문화에 공통적으로 존재하는 기본적인 틀. Unconscious mind, 무의식, 의식하지 못하지만 행동과 사고에 영향을 미치는 정신의 영역. 롤란 바르테스 롤랑 바르트 구조주의 문학 이론가. Literary theory, 문학 아이론, 문학 작품을 분석하고 이해하는 데 사용되는 개념과 방법론. Analysis of texts, 텍스트 분석 문학 작품이나 다른 글의 의미와 구조를 해독하는 과정. Authorial intent, 작가 의도 작품을 통해 작가가 전달하고자 한 의미. Narrative, 서사, 이야기 사건을 시간 순서대로 배열하여 전달하는 방식. 패션 시대의 유행을 반영하는 옷이나 스타일. cultural phenomena, 문화, 현상, 사회나 문화에서 관찰되는 특정한 양상, systems of science, 기호책의 의미를 전달하는 요소들의 조직화된 구조, codes and conventions, 코드와 관습 의미를 해석하고 생성하는 데 사용되는 규칙과 합의, mythologies, 신화론 바르트의 저작으로 일상생활 속 신화를 분석, deconstructed, 해체하다, 어떤 것의 구성 요소를 분석하여 숨겨진 의미나 구조를 드러내는 것. Death of the author, 작가의 죽음, 텍스트의 의미가 작가에 의해 결정되는 것이 아니라 독재에 의해 구성된다는 개념. 루이스 알투셀, 루이 알투이세르, 구조주의 마르크스주의 철학자. 마르크시즘, 마르크스주의 칼 마르크스의 사상에 기반한 사회, 경제, 정치 이론. 레인터프레트, 재해석하다, 이전의 의미나 설명을 새로운 관점에서 다시 이해하다. 휴머니즘, 인본주의, 인간의 가치와 존엄성을 강조하는 사상. Structural forces, 구조적 힘, 개인의 의지와 상관없이 사회 시스템에 의해 작용하는 영향력. Economic, 경제적인 생산, 분배, 소비와 관련된. Political, 정치적인 정부, 권력, 정책과 관련된. Ideological, 이데올로기적인 사상이나 신념 체계와 관련된. Historical development, 역사적 발전, 시간이 지남에 따라 사회나 사건이 변화하는 과정. Social relations, 사회적 관계, 사람들이 서로 상호작용하는 방식. Ideological state apparatuses, ISAs, 이데올로기적 국가장치학교, 교회, 가족 등 이데올로기를 재생산하는 기관. Individual freedom, 개인의 자유, 외부의 간섭 없이 개인이 선택하고 행동할 수 있는 권리. Post-structuralism, 탈구조주의, 구조주의의 한계를 비판하고 발전시킨 철학운동.